So in the letter, Chrome Casa me were right to cancel.
Okay.
And definitely menene koi. So your koi no on introduction you and after your masha say committee abumneni penia wudi and most on the chairman for the committee. Me no that was my second time I'm here no. For the first time no more frame and on the second time. Do you also J no I started okay. Now one funny thing is say
kwa yo jina soma men kasa me ba. Ya ho de moye no ho unnecessary. Or my way intimidation, some moja network around the ha, and my intimate co and fast will be any so. No crowing to me fancy. I dare near be recorded. A doing me a besadia to her. A do it a moy fast will be any so. You die in your head. And fast would be any so. And one could see way. And see, oh, sir, I'm not your man way. Now, your castle will be different. How? Oh. Kwame anochi o se ho ahwan anochi no oni e ka so bi sa dalegada wo apasua dia kwanimu intelligence unimu sabi o ade now ultimate trauma politicians control anyhow who misbehave in this country anyhow dia hu hia na moye yati kroma ma MTN 4D sem hunu sabi o auto internet ya u free tensi dia wo next one I say auto 300 and something there is nothing in between for the poor people moti wo mutimi ndi sa ansemu ya no yet man telecommunication networks will chroma say wamo eye mobile money end to end eye charges ya kan wasem a quarter parliament for so many times which mean kan wasem esem huna mudi ye there say mobile jam networks won get serious what dey ka no MPP are buying this kind of intimidation tactics. It's not what we voted for you to come and do. Or mine atimunya modiao mun get that in your head straight. I will be a timid kind of question, Mamuti Kromasia, Mudin Hunu, be anka venture. Mopa Monja many radie, Sim Hunu. Well, you are causing chaos. I
open he said an Americano. So you drew Honum no movie bisa our monsem. Tijuana, they are because committee no must setting up no cry in the first place. You're wrong. Because according to Omuamra Crano, Nipa is a fatasa committing Jumuna, me in Samano Chomono, and you are one at the
quorum of the committee.
Miss say BBC Bassa. Inti ehwana ni nyina na omo ya na ene me lawyer objected to ene sa inti ene me no ka say de ensem ba akokoro ni wo omutimi bisa me na we no omete ho na okwansi omo ka che se wo omo sre ya nka
omo so mko fa adwen
omo be so mfa adwen tinki excuse omo afi na mbe fa adwen ene say okay ye de because ye twa kwa fin kran ye ba ye anytime anka ye ma inti ye one more time inti adwen bia be se mo fa no mo fa ene ye pie ene omo ke ko omutibom se de na omo ye se de omo no omo sa frɛ ene ye ba na omo start asem we kura o ma anyo madwen se nkom betwim we nkenye lawyer asem ntinka ene lawyer ne menkasa na asem ne yensiesie no wa heya na nye boko na de we opani ma meka asem bi meka asem we because obi beka se okwadwo na nka kwa de esie de ni kwan se okeka on den meka because adwenbone a ene etrimodeni trimupa eta chire nti omode frame no enu ntina ma meka we no enya adwen pa so say yen camera kwan so no mo de me fa ne pepepe yo so a anka me mebie bi nsemu ha but adwenbone so nti no mo yesa se wo kwa district wa America say opani me obi wo ho no ma sabi nka me ya MPA ne sa because enema me ye wo ho enema me ye ma school because headmaster so mo te say ye frem sam say akwadwo wumum because obi anim say ento asum sa me ne wo ka say me wo contractors bia me wo NGOs bi aba on board school no since ye omo computer lab omo intimi ampegency order enne menya nkofo a ye kwa akopege esi honom me ye ne ma bebre
ese wana wo boama development aba wo onete eye ba bia enkoye na nke ye de be kire wa akwa ye ni ye ene wa ba be ye otamfo now tie ni ekwadwo wo ready ye national anthem or say God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Be bold to defend forever the cause of freedom and of right. Udu baby I say make us cherish, fearless, honesty. Udu himself go for a brain to honest. One can start here. We teacher no say. Make us cherish, fearless, honesty. So
yensro hiu ye beka.
O say Ghana for muntie Ghana for tibon koso sam na ye muntie ni na nka sam chiro. O say Ghana for you should cherish fearless honesty. If somebody is fearlessly honest, esa mo ni jesu obi ka no kore a kire tumi wo mo tworo ye national anthem no they knew sabi obedumre bia there will be tyrants in this country. It is obi sware no ka no kore say the teacher kwajo ka no kore na you should cherish self fearless honesty no. Ku Facebook o maja me yasa baba ke ne ko share ema me ya ba back ama video no ekonanim share ema obi ante no kure haya no kure fi abra na so on TVXYZ. Before see be come back to teacher Kwadwo so no oman ya timu ya chechire a da bia kokko se chiman yesi school free JJ Rollins penso da bia yesi school asi awali fa me ko Abrewapon DA primary school na eja school fa yesi oman no yayire ye ho asi such an ultra modern edifice ana Abrewapon DA primary school for Etimo Esua there from 1952 and you see such an ultra modern edifice. Asante Achem North District in Abrewapon we ni tumuja kachew. Eni bumprugu yoyo. Eni armo, eni karaga. We ya Abrewapon Asante Achem heya mi anka sama Asante Achem. Krofa Adomfe Wenchi ayi bomfa chiase Asante Achem aya Asante Achem North District. Asante Achem Agogo, Asante Achem Konongo, Asante Achem Dumase. Sa mpotem heya Kumasi Accra Main Road yana sa ultra modern edifice isi. Wait, MP neba. Say ultra modern edifice school Abrewapon DA primary school. Efiri Kwame Ntabebere so yesi suku asi. Enso hwe ultra modern school ejankola ntim esua de. Yakoka wo se mienka. Da bia mo na mo siese mo develop mine no. Radio ni TV so the development e koso pa. Enso nipa no atefom ho no ultra modern school mo tim. We school we me sure say Barack Obama ne makura be person beba bi. Is a school na fedodo. Akono dodo. School papa. We school akono. Ye kanso a enkrofo bi na omo ye 1% to okrom ha na. Omo susu se omo no papa na omo nananom kroni omo dia enti ye hiafo ma na efri bomfa chia se baaye no. Ye nkonkoda no. They will not listen. We your ultra modern school. Abrewapon DA primary school for Echo. When a teacher Kwadwo Namu a wo unveil say, wo make sure say Ghana for be hunu de Echo so. Empanimfo so wo ntiase say teacher Kwadwo kire baabi a ultra modern school we sie na campus akoye ni yie. It will my friend say omra disciplinary committee. Nonsense. Nobody can intimidate anybody in this country. I have a question, and I don't know. Sometimes I get so disappointed in you. Sabio Yatikroma and Crawford, what we should be citizens and not spectators. I implore you to be citizens. Citizens and not spectators. And when people want to be citizens and not spectators, the same people around you go after them and make sure say omere. And I know Mamia Fiakoto, Mamia Fiakoto, Medical Catchers only chief by one of the Nyansafo in this politics, I hear Ukruma, because Mama, a year NDC MPP, and Temo Dontem. And I know Mamia Fiakoto say education minister should report a year teacher Kwadwo to a year despite media, not despite media unity. Obia reporting to a net and reporting to China. Or report to Kwanki Anuntum. Abaji before semester aba teacher Kwadwo so no fameko Mipom Takorase DA primary school in the Upper West Akem district of the Eastern region ana enkrofo etnesua de yenko Mipom Takorase ultra modern school. What an ultra modern primary school. Mipom Takorase Upper West Akem in the Eastern region. Almost one tibida. Say teacher Kwadwo Nam no obusa nkrofo se. Na sabi almost mo pese mo develop your mind no. Bia make say school we mu hui. Ana teacher Kwadwo so wo call round. A kire mo ba bia school no wo. Say the school na ye nie. Say the be ya mbekwa ko develop na kan no bufo wo ho ne de. Say ka mo bo na ba so office ono kura na eboa mo amma hunu ba bia mo betimi akoye adwuma no na mo de age mo samba election time. Mo se mo ntiase ne say. Where Mipom Takorase, a DA primary school in the Upper West Achem. Edio, baby, a Mrantia and Qualati Krum ha, Esua de Enie. And Quala baby, Omutisha de Enie. And Peninfo is so much develop Croi. Ye be free, Yakoya University free. Now, Sabio University free, and young Kola when they be free primary, Waba, JHS, Abasinako, a secondary school by university. na hwe the state of condition ankola wetimu sua de Mose Muntebida, see a kind of corachamo. Is this development? Okaka, we say Ghana dear is a democratic country. No, Ghana is not a democratic country. Ghana belongs to a tyranny group who thinks that they are the rightful owners and rightful to the throne of this country. And any other person should keep quiet. Ghana is democratic. This is not democratic. This is abuse of human right. If much were my women after 64 years of independence, this is when Crawford there. It is an abuse of human right. We need a national development plan, a long-lasting national development plan. I bema time frame. Ebema enye sabio ne yaye we kakra ne de ansa kwaso kakra we ba one throw we dia so national development plan na state say in the next 2 years eliminate all primary schools under trees, and in this dilapidated state eliminate here. No government will be able to defeat. Osware asem no ya kan muntre nie suku we obama ba ko bi school we obama ba ko bi Yababa back ni akwa akwa schools ahodo ena me ne mu barura ne me se se ohwe sa eje program we ne na se obu amfu leadership the kind of leadership substandard leadership that has been given to us ogoka almost say China is not a democratic country medical kachiramo I will prefer any day anytime China which is undemocratic bankolantena in this conditions you and here say makwan ma se be obi amekansem hunu in the media nti mo say China is undemocratic. What is democratic about this? What is democratic about Adeya Mushwe Sisi Munkan Cherame? What is democratic about Sadia Waya Mushwe? This is a straight jacket abuse of human right. Better than Sankola way to me and your mind and what do? Was all in a woman, were mining grinning home. The state of condition were Timushia. How would this child die for this country? How can this child be patriotic for this country? Yebusamo. Musimunti bida. 1% leadership na muti kromano. Musimunti bida. See a kano kora cheremo. Because moment yene gu abrochire. Ba mo ahia fo no so omote ase ono ye fa nyamo. Ye fa nyamo. Yatimia brainwash mu amamatimi believe say oye NPP a odi ano no oye NDC a it fix the country na nkofo bi titi Facebook chuochuo nsem hunu yesi afro obi ho awan hama o tiri na ye o papa na anu ya Victoria Hama nua boy no ye fence awan hama o tiri na ye na anu ya o papa wu yesi onya vice president ne former president mo mba na yase because o papa belong to the one of the 1% of this country no ye free bomfa chance be hia for man de ye person position ye ho politically na say bi o papa position ho politically no ya de bone and am ka sam kwa na mo rightful heir to the throne of this country and ye ja o man na mamu na motiwa na mo ye mo ho abrofosem and am na me ye lawyer so hey mo come on tum lawyer why efiri mre tenti amamu ofu amabuei lawyer for de ni de ne yempe a doctor for amamu ni yempe amamu any plan any direction amamu any continuity the bufu afu no pay no because me ti say here for we so ase ana moto na mukika nsem hunu si ebe hwehwura wutimi hwehwura obi an ne hwehwura ne chana ka chiro pay koko bisa bomfa achi ase ne ka chiko bisa osu amene ne ka chiro akosu abene wa ba we ye na adweso be bibia wutimi hwehwura na ne hwehwura ne chana yesu wawu tisha ko yemra back to the studio opening oko rounds oko hunu sa ne ma we nyina ede na inspire ma ye wa adweso be ko round ko twetwa sa ne ma we
okay beginning sa videos we utwa ye no eye videos me man kofu bi say teachers do you know say on my way na you na teacher for nkasa when say GS4 wo mra bi a teacher ni kwan say or granting interviews to the media obekasa the enkoyi actually media house
our GS mra
of course yes uni right so obetwitwa sa na ma we enkoyi actually ba opani me nkasa mbi emra ye mra ba me eye nipa ntini ye mra nya mra ntini ye nipa emra ema nipa ho nto ne de mi ni sa mra ne so yes me ma dwene no na mebu sa mra ne so emra
and a very positive defiance.
Of course. And sometimes you will sometimes for change to occur, no, rules must be broken. What will matter? Omu nyina piano jo. Openi omu piano jo no mo ba. Omo ba na jo 10, all okay open 9. Enkora de odi kan duru kwan na no. E wo se gate mu ne nyina enim se fa gate mu ne kofi. Oduru gate na ya lock no a comfort ne so. E na omu kun de odi kan. The next day omo sa akwa abonti omo ba comfort omo so. Ya sa lock gate e na omu kun ye. Ye kun ya ma ne ka ba ko. The last one duru ho na ya lock gate no we nyina ha me ye nkunu e na o jump wall. Ye nyina enim se ye mfa wall so e na ba fie. Na mu wa jump wall saving a life. Adie chia no pa wo befu se oba ne jampe wo ana wani beji se ne nkwa eda so wo honom wani beji se ne nkwa wo na emu bwanfa gate mu ne ba wo jampe wo enu bi na meye no de meka nyina akosini se adie na ye no kore no a be ma nipa ho ato no na de meka but omra na wa yi ato honom no se ma nipa ho nto na mi ni sa amra ne so Ghana mra me yeti ase akora bia wo right to quality education
we de mo hwese si eye Pojini Islamic Primary School Ultramodern primary school a womo Pojini Islamic Northern Region. Ebi ankolati esua de enie. Ompani fo no
makonya. De gugu fom no sa enua no.
Enua na gu fom no ye makonya.
Ombetena so.
De omete so no. De gu fom no.
Obetena so.
Eno na omete susua de. In this country.
We afeu. Ebi we na se we kura de wo dan a mo de ya bom hyem nsuo to ayemmo. Ebi etan kura chense. Ebi etan chense.
Na me ti o man we mu see developing man
obi bisa me say na kwadwo we nyina wo ho na den na dada de nyina ma out ana NPP aban ya na bisina me say no nya NPP aba e wo ho dada NDC wo so na e wo ho dada na ya ye mra say a teacher fo ntimi nkasa
enti no mo nka enti ana manya radical person
when the camera ekọ schools na be say obi say teacher fo de ekọ so obi abedwane
we eya akroma DA basic school sikuma odobembra kwa Central Region Akroma DA Primary School. Ensure to baby Ghana ma Ghana mkola wo mu be nyina be leaders of the country baby o muti sua de. Enso ye see develop your mind. Saka what development.
Na mi ntwawa no na oni ma say comment bi obi be ma ye ne say minim say de me ye no e unlawful. Minim say aban is lawful. O say unim say ukotwa aban bibi with the intention of sanya ma we na e yon wonam say unim say Ghana ni ba bia wo right to quality education na the ordinary akwa no right to quality education
ene me no America ho ase
ono onto mra meboa me na me dey about hwe wo se wuntimi nya unka se wuntimi nya wo mie wa no nanso ye hwe action na wo nya wa adwen se obeye ena Ghana fo na ana temamufo ni bi se omo wotima man kwada no enti kwadwo beka nukure wo mu kire yen na ye kakra ye betumi no ye mo ankwada no mintimi fama no meka ne sa akekese ahasai e
say evidence and evidence ni nie
na me de ba so a wo se won tiase na woni ma wo de hosem de eya wo ye de wo social media se won tiase ne ye kwaku ma anu ba no adwo asanto aba no
ye woni bi no ni no oni bie no wo defend a very stupid system
ono na si wo gu ne party ani ma ono no wo party
no ojo bi whatever wayo
wo political party
wo meto MPP Messi Ejahine. Makasa se mo kokwasi osaje ne ko bisa hwan Ejahine is. Ejahine is a fearless person. Kwadusu dwabe ne ko bisa do ma sabio adusu dwabe ngina ye. Me papa 1962 no kosua boxing bae. Sometime every bomfa chiase. Na wo ko eye all the way to Asiwa. Ono pe na wo ka ho. Intercity ni sweet mother. Kasa kese mi no. On the starting bomfa junction. Driving. Na me ne wo ka say kwasi osaje anwumere wo suno so obeye sa campaign na Messi Ejahine timi so ne nsa no atenesim no mo nam no mo ye campaign me wofa ya henkura free finance ya no wu ye ya henkura free for won suno hwe but me nyini ya me bedru ba bi na mbusa se ade na mema sa de wo ya chechire ma adwene se ye wo ye MPP ni nti no kura da wa ntimi nka wo ye NDC ni nti no kura da wa ntimi nka na no kura no nim oyo wo furu bedru soro wa ana hu se ye occult group I'm telling you. Utibo mfachi ase odwe se o ye MPP ni.
Nyibia.
Utibo asankragwa odwe se o ye NDC ni. Uti eye tumuja kacha odwe se ba ofuru bedru so wa na abehunu se ye occult group.
Nka ho.
With a followership. Ye bebu se ase o papa ne hwan ansa ne ama akwan akura ma o seat wo ho. O godfather ne hwan. Such a nonsense system. She se baby enkola tisua de. We young ayi dankwaji edin bo ho so. Dankwe mili RC primary. We are Tamale South constituency. We are almost school Omutimusua there. Young Dang Pemyiri RC primary. We sukua Omutimusua there shoto. We de sukua Omutimusua there. As you see a development mind. Yadika catch say here a national development plan. Omaya ya develop MPP ban wa 2 NDC project agu. NDC ban wa 2 MPP project agu. No makwa akoye foforo if say 10% na wo ho no party ba ko no adi awie. Etie so mo contract foforo. Yati kroma ma road minister be jaha. For those of you who are not, you are not in we are gone far. So you have to follow us. Supersonic. Hey, road mister, you are not in touch. Well, when you saw my yetimi, a choir, a walk gun, and 67,327 kilometers. 67,327 kilometers. Only about 67,500 kilometers. A choir walk gun, and including baby, oh, quite any more. Eda. A world standard. A kilometer of an asphalt road. 1.5 million Ghana cedi. The Amure Oti region. Pomfrey basic school. Ketekrache she school no ankolatim ultra morning school ankolatim usuade. Ogo company for CNT bida. Wo say wo man no. Nipa bone for the propaganda do o ma we anima 30 years. Ye ni plan. Wo mo man ko school ni bi. Na wanya ehia form obrofo na wo motiase o na wo madwene nye no ya adwene ne nye and I'm part of it. Yes so ye MPP ni ntia no ano no wo gu ma aba hey you guys should be careful. Kwa yo kasa ne nko na asasem na mo kase ugu ma aba ani mas na meba wo obi say so many comments na me receive here all the sad videos we to almost say you are making the government unpopular by asem ba kwa na me bisa say wa ba ni timi fa plane kwa bruchiri koka kire broni na wo susu se me di video ni to obehu se ni kroma se ni se opebosia opani di enti na ebobosia obobosia because so person chese wo ho kire right woni bi niam anko yenti na akobobosia na wo akobobosia no enya bia se obi gu ni ho ani mu asa na obi make unpopular enya wa na make ho unpopular wa wo kopebosia fi enya na make ho unpopular na me de na me de to se niam anko yeni beye no se o ka kire me se de me de to ho no wo ntia se me de to me make unpopular na that me say bia wedding kind sa de na kogisika and wa meye enu nti na wusuro se obi behu because other than that it doesn't make sense so waka je me say me the way to me make you unpopular na yet o ma we mu no we teacher for no ho ya na ye me ya me say o teacher ya yo me say slaves because won ti me nkasa eniema ese fata se akande ese fata se o de kira de ma de kira ko na ni mu no eni ho enso ye se kira de no we magician na wo te wo no ye din na wo so won kasa me master report me ma woman ba ku be ye oba ayamanchim krum ho no me say wo ye krumani na wakotena buchi kakra e wo mo bebo ankwara no e no friend ka je say kwadwo ye ade bi na ade nda e no bi za ne say kwadwo se textbook bi ni ho na we ni we nsu ni ho no no kre asemo ka che ma me ne say na teacher for na aka no mo ye den no mo kira de because omo nyina ye din omo nkasa nti e ne kwadwo akasa de a e ne wo so ye din na wo bre na me kira de ne say ade no de no me kira de ne keke o e wo se teaching and learning na ye effective e was akwara ne passing so he eniema me de be kira de ye ni one day I know teaching and learning materials then you are telling me say me kira ne say enti me dia ne o reason is say I boso me ne so meji aketua enti de wona ma sign contract say me nkodo wasa asema wo asase ne so no so be ma me se kan ya me de be do me wi a watua me ka wodi mi ko gina asase ne so no wa ma me se kan no ade chie na ba na me no ya na wo papa ma so me sa ade na me no ye because I was me do na me nwi wura na se kan ya de ba ma me wo henfa akani ye se fata mfa hwe ba bia nkora tete wo so ye education hwe eya na MPP fo ntie ni ye me to ba nyina ma NPP na no kra ho ane aka hwe 3 times na mato aba Ghana ha ni na me to ma NPP me to ma na adu because me teacher ni na adu ma me tie ase say education ne priority it means we come akoma me fa ka free akra esi kumase me fa bi free kumase esi oboase e na me fa bi free oboase kwa amanchim ansa na me ko register to aba ma NPP enti wo do NPP an NPP nchen me anka owo bi ba ya anka me wo kwa so
What I say, ye can said ye tia ye, who teacher ni na wo so join people who nim say ade ne ye nka. Obi ho a e na bebre na dwom say ade na wo kan NPP time na wan kan NDC time.
How can NDC time?
Me sha ade kirase 2017 me patcho wana na wa be.
Na nado.
Enu nti de won tia se ni ntie ni yi. Obi anta obi o. Ana menka nkyere wo say na menkogina ba bi nka say suku dan na say ni nyina NPP for ba na omo say ni nyina. But obi wo ho penyin tina fie masifo for her. There's no way abetimi aka say we were abrabe na nado film we ne den we president of the country. Ubebo ni din we penny owo fie. Sa mama mahama na wo so anka mebo ni din. Enti me ye ne den ana na nado ma me hu say education that akoma so. Fine, oba ye watache SHS. Wa ye ni free. Obanya bi kobi, me banya bi kobi. Emu adwo. Fine. But me kan je say ongu SHS. Omane wo ho. But na nado amaya ti ase sika wo ho a ye bitimi di ato so na emum ye to so na enye tertiary asem. Basic nenye foundation na ye weak where the nanado ejai basic no koye tertiary e say netie e te se me no wote no wasi dan wo Ghana ha ma me na mehwe so na wakwa kwotena bruchi dan ne ye wo de wo sika mu no e dan ne ye wo de ba me na mehwe so minim dan ne condition chen wo a wo si wo dan no enti so kwotena bruchi 10 years na se wo ba back na wo ba ya na ka che say me dan ho a ye finti me ba be penti nya botre uto paint dan na be ye fe di otwam bia nim se wo dan ye fe na emu me dan foundation ye me na metim me na nim de ekoso
ni be bia crack ni nyina
na do mpa cho chira de Minister of Education chira de GS for penny for chira de district directors omo chira de me pa cho wan na chira de
wona chira de
it me minimum kra ne condition chen mo enu nti na me chira we say we nkoye enti yenye foundation no ansa na yakoyanim penny for say ye de hi ansa de ye de fata nenso we de ase ye de fata ansa na be ye de hi
ye de pay vote nti.
That's the only way. And you bet me I say be how deep vote into na yes because when we say basic and kola ni ntimi ntoaba into SHS for na be tertiary for na be toaba ntina because other than that no it doesn't make sense obe jai basic no akwa tertiary free never.
Wa yonim sa eye ngoma we ye adamanim. Yeti asi say constitution amosomonti ase me say be sesa constitution ne asesa ne chena we need a developmental constitution and not a political constitution. Professor Mills set up this commission. Under education, page 46. Was say the National Development Plan should develop a long-term education policy that will ensure greater stability in the educational system. B, forestall in particular the frequent changes in the curriculum and duration of educational programs. The duration for junior and senior high school education should be fixed and entrenched in the constitution. Say and this about was here 4 years. We about here 3 years. No Constitutional Review Commission say yen stating it categorically entrenched in the next constitution. Be say sadia no yeden kola na egura to prani yenyai. Okosi or say not allow the politicization and manipulation of the education system according to the pleasure of the government in power. Omakanwa say yancho constitution for front year fanye. We will say ensure that any change made to the duration of the education system would consider the availability of facilities and teachers. Omakanwa see a new constitution ebetro. We will say establish an independent body to manage the education sector so as to insulate the sector from political influence and manipulation. Simple. Basically, we need a new constitution or Tom Mobamayanso. We will say address the many issues that surround the school feeding program, ensuring that it is well structured and sustainably managed. Messi yebe here new constitution. Sa sakawa constitution we yempene chana constitution man crofo feel say omo ye first class citizens of the nation yempe. Ubi I say extend the capitation grant to all children. Yancho constitution for to ensure the enforcement of the free compulsory universal basic FQ program as provided in the constitution. Etienne free compulsory universal basic education no ye here constitution ebe make sure say akwala bi e wo school man no why they will go school. We will say foster the extension of the FQ program to cover secondary education and substantial increase in the level of subsidy to tertiary educational institutions. One because among tertiary free or subsidy. And so na political expedience inti. Adia no asenye and so also wokosoro akọ eniye. We will say address the security and safety concerns of the children in schools. security and safety concerns. Yes, I had the end of Nkola form hono basa Nkola tinshum. This is security threat to the Nkola. Was it we need a new constitution? A new constitution that will address the high cost of education in private universities. When a Professor Mills na momo yes Constitutional Review Commission you or more recommendations or make here or say scrap the professional certificate courses in the educational curriculum since the employers are more interested in candidates with degrees. After you catch us here new constitution also on Tiasia, me say a Constitutional Review Commission solutions to the problems of this country was say. Was say ensure the progressive introduction of free education to a higher educational levels as provided in Article 25(1) of the Constitution. Although that provision should be expunged from the Constitution to avoid litigation. We also grant universities autonomy from the public procurement process since it is very bureaucratic and causes delay. Also ensure that the private universities are allowed to access government grants on research to reduce the cost of education for students who attend those institutions. We also address the need of the comprehensive policy on science technology for the country. It will make a roadmap to solving these things. I can was at that 11 years in Ghana pen for some financial.
Na say we nipa adwenda trim na say ade wi a wo kan na say nya wo de na say won fo say bitafra che na de na ha. Yeah. De na ha. At that Ghana pen for some financial. Na opani we enema bi you see ahometena reho na bon. I don't know how our programming kofoni bi adwen. You see and your programming kofoni bi adwen amna kwa say once who belong to this particular political party na assembly free obi owo opposition ho no monko ade we say e won say e adwenbone sa na ye o madwen no enti if atamis won e bae atamis nsusie ni tiri mu pono no na adwen ni nsusie no enu nti me ye NPP ni efiri ni ho ba ne sa na ye o man no he can you imagine say okobet on say e ya NPP no ye ka say mo na oye program kana ka say mo amasai mo ehiafo ne eyi no mo say mo na mbekọ akoto aba omo ye muse ya na makoto aba man ka sem kire o me call round so na me hu o madwen ya program me o madwen na nkasa I tell you enye o mo fault ya program me o mo from say o mo ntime nwene woni me say more na understanding of politics ni say na say they say o belong to either NPP or NDC okay bebre adwen o mo say MP sika wo de ba be bibi ni ono ane botom sika enti say MP amaya ama na enye hwe obi na di ni sika no se wonye ma na say we wonye eboni to ye ma ye kakra de ase ye da na se ni ma no me say na o mo ti ase enti o mo ni idea bia o enti enu enti na me that's why I'm thinking say is that the reason why o mo person will be develop education was our rural areas na maybe say be yankofo na adwene bebie yes because other than that it doesn't make sense they come there o mo condition no omunim said you almost fam when inside school am na for so many years see school na ade wa manchem na ICT e timetable so nchire bi da through me na me ko check school no computers ma akoma 10 nchire bi da na ye de no see ICT no ba na mpanifo ba ho behu election time obi aba ho behu MP okrom he ma me reveal asem we nchire me master pe on pe we na meka asem we na ye ma wo ye ma ho mete na me se me nka ba me ka ye be makwan meeting ye school amewo amanchim DA primary school no class 1 enkra na number 87 in one class me class 4 enkra na number 65 ye master ko ka kire then MP no was had gone MP apia penkra say wasre na anka yehia classroom blocks because enkra na overcrowded with them honom according to me master na me kan say me master boa me boa say me master be obi na wo tie me America no kure no wonte ase a omra me master ka kire me say okohu apia penkra na apia penkra ka kire ne say on chop formality in the name of the school am fan copy fans e mesi sa school blocks na oka no o chop letter ne de command no o de command no initially omo agree on 4 unit classroom block o so ho be 2 weeks time apia penkra fa ne say oh omra nyame adum sika ni biaba na sika na e baaye no obesi 3 unit fine ona o share wo bo so besi 3 a dan sini enko. Can you imagine say apia penkra mo to foundation and o twa blocks be over 16,000 blocks and one no me master according to me master intra me bo me master din no me headmaster ka kire me say since adeda gu honom almost getting to a year blocks ni go school park so me nwura efu kata so dane forest anisa na bisa master say adan o ka chem say apia penkra say oye we ni wie no onfa nko ka nche DC no on na beto aso and I say what throw letter in the name of the school yakobo also the yakobo fans and no say oh baby wadru no wontimi biom nti DC beto aso can you imagine say apia penkra the car ebe sere master say blocks no makoma 50 ekoe and I bisa say really the master catch them say we dey enye onno fault me na me ma akwan nti na say no enye wo fault
ana ma akwan
nti na ma akwan enye wa
na obi atworo Moses Ohemi atworo bibu a say another programming strategy is that they say oh even the peace we have is enough.
Of course, yes.
Nonsense. Of course. I think Ghana is a peaceful country. And Crawford and Teddy Ecoso around them no. I say. Enti no my idea.
Peace no. Enti wow be sorry abeka
I say you peace no e wano.
Yes.
Ke wano to eh any command be nya jegu. Eh yakoni Crawford bala so association why ni over 30 seconds. Maybe more than that. Why ni?
I'm a patch FM calling Kasefu Kumanse.
Collins family wom ni enko ye nante.
Me pacho adwuma na wo ye no ye ni shop papa da bia me wife fra o say in NDC ni be o mo say o mo friend say ma o da emfa no ntinche ba dem pese me ka kire Ghana politician say be yan kwasiafo ye ni nyansa say bu to say untimi nkobọ bo sin ase bia wo de kwa ye adwuma na wo kwa no de bia say container na wo kwa ye container no wo ye container ni wie ya fon na container na kwisuo na empty Mutimi kwa bobo saze mu dibeti hospital na ma besi no muwie na sika no so asa it is sika no mo de fage ne ye trans bi ni adwene wo man no ya ye nti ase
bedase o mu chedi sika no o mu chedi o mu de fahe wo mu chedi wo man kasa tena se no ma create problem na mo ho no ma mo ho contract no mo disika no o mu chedi hey me so ma we sika wo mu mo hello wine
hello
wine
yeah good morning
wine me bacho I soldier for nanti ya nanti
me da se pa se adi ma we no tete me my problem is I want you to deal with as Osiadoye any sa apakuno
abaje yi papa free so me need time for free so na yanka developmental issues sanko for ya body omo to omo ye political jandam people omo no madwuma ne say omo ye political langards political langards omo madwuma no me I don't have time. I have time for development of this country. Yeah movie why ye fix the country the ombeti monte mo na fix the country and I say come na see ye de kumbra ko ye why ye why you
hello
awaje wonti en kan wayi no na highest you she hello why ye hello why ye line ajame hello why ye
Patrol, Paisla Latin.
Why?
From Monday. Patrol. Hello?
Oh, yet you, brother.
Patrol, you're more cano. Yes, you ask for Queen or we if we Yami, and one only two at the every time. Yes,
Medase. Yakuyanim, Yanante. Why ye?
Hello?
Yea, why ye?
Yeah, but you Jacob him because I free a flower.
Okay, a flower faminante.
Yo, Yanama say any of my palm ye. Teacher called you Yamin Shrow. There be a meet you, beside follow. Your teacher called you a no. When we say, directors no more district in Mono. Say never be close to see na so omo answer repair and so omo ankasa pe na che say akwai te say omo ugu aban na nimu ase enti omo mpeni ma teacher ni bia owo ne district mu enkasa and I say emegu nimu ase and so omo bibi mo mu nyina because teacher go do bibi a that directors no omo so region no omo mba teacher go do direct district directors no ho no mbeba enti district director bia be say ni teacher ni bia enko ye bibi emgu ne nimu ase enti na ma teachers for na ejindi na nye teaching kwa o connecting sector so the same problem
obiasuro krowe obiasuro abaje ya da senior krowe mesi obiasuro ehu na ma nkrofo ehihye dem ayema politician na create a fear factor making it look like okasa na ahwe ya bibi besu anya bibi banyasi Some better no sisi manfo ni da bia say edi manfo ni sika nyafu na development en some ye no ntoa so da bia ma develop eye o man so radio ni TV so nkwa na ehunu no ukọ ente sa ye ni plan munya akwotena seat ni mo tena asese ya de won trim eye se de obeche sika die enye how to develop the nation. Where am last caller why?
Hello, okay, Jeffrey Fa.
Yey.
Oh, but the Yaman Cow, no, teacher could judge my farmer, yes, woman Ghana.
That's it.
Ah, you would say, when you see the support near Tay.
Oh, boy, for support beyond touching it. Do about what to a man pippin and this boy. Wait, Obada Sorena go for about Facebook, and I got a cheer, more for me political party, must have from and pippin and this one.
There will be an argument, say, I can it down. Yes,
I can with the home, any money, one now. But I say, brother, I want you open last call. Okay, I want you to last call about why you?
Commander Yinsu,
I use you. Permanente.
Mia, Ghana, you know what I am. Now, I'm your friend, the guy in Asia, Brosa. The 2010, and that was a mess. Revenue management bill. The young football crew among Castle Western region is 10%. I was in their development. Being a uncle from a female, no. Which I said, oh, my boy, the same about Western and me, I'm a baby. And me for the name of Fobaka, some of me come at least now I'm passing for the Bataka.
They say Western region 21st. Oh dear, takura dem rantie no ohia na mutim no wo ma na asa da kreti o wo ma shada pa na kreti me ba be ka kire o de nti o ma kreti bra betie bi na so obu amfu na obu mfu kira
oye city pa omwo no
wo no de ya bro for some oye city ba mu ni kapre I'm telling
so na go for accommodate go for kuro ni
Obuasi are free 1897 yet to go to 124 years kura o hem futuru
Koduba convention go for edakoma o Dubai
me da se senior me si wo mo share no mo kreti o takura de port no takura de wo ma we baby e se ke develop paper number 1 takura de me ba what 21st fix the country the mo me be cancer bi a kire mo na mo bo mfu a mo bu mfu bio takura de na di Kenya first port 1922 say Gordon-Gordisbeck. It's one and European goods in India Faba. You be can be a me say, some woman for Takura de Porto 80% a Brunidia. You be cancer match. Hey, Tia, cancer match. Mwamua Brocheri, the Antia more than Yama Ban, the board and then they were Porto and support on Yagana Dio. About 80% you be dear, Brunibidia. Roma, see you be a one young monk with your coso. Who appeared to be right. Nasa by Papa Ba, by Papa Bakrum ha. Say the people's government, the people's revolution. I can tell you, say, Bibia Okromabia will be renegotiated. One 10 year baby, I say, more. When you remember back, before say, remember our last comment, Abaje, Nana Ridako Kufuado, ene a yam penifo shia, or say one year constitutional review in wholesale any. Abaje was a video now, farmer me. Na, who was a video no? Okay, we are Sako back. Saba kuna aye wakai and whatever my bad Ubo we are Brabak and Ninkomobi. Okay.
I don't believe that the Constitution is the work of the President of the Republic. For the President to decide in the comfort of his study that he is satisfied that there must be a review of the Constitution, and that by that process engage the process of constitutional review. I think the Constitution is the work of the body politic of Ghana, and if anything else at all, it should be at the very least the Parliament of the Republic at any one given time that will stand for to say that these are matters which.
Tie, me say Nanado either say, and Yamani be wa or cano near Churaman say on no unbelieving in it, and I say a dishonesty. Say okan we na adechia no wakachina tie asem no okan ni o say Nanado say he does not believe say the review of the Constitution a president na say e initiate this process tie brofo ne pa e ma brofo na da o mo de brofo na biri ene so 30 years okroma tie brofo ne na do say I don't believe in the review of the constitution say president na so initiate that process tie Abaji sama video ni bi oni entie ni
view of the constitution, and that by that process engage the process of constitutional review. I think the constitution is the work of the body politic of Ghana, and if anything else at all, it should be at the very least the parliament of the republic at any one given time that will stand for to say that these are matters which we think should engage the public attention so that there can be a collective. But for the president to say he's satisfied that there ought to be a review and therefore engage the process, I thought it was flawed. I said it to the Constitutional Review Commission when they had the good grace to invite me to give my views on the matter, and I have not changed my view. I think that the constitutional review, which involves what, 200 is it? No, but there are. But it's in fact it involves a review of some. But some. Yeah. You don't have a constitutional articles.
Tiwa peniwe ya diwe. No, yanka no kuro. I don't want to believe this is Nanado speaking. Nanado said I don't believe in the review. No, about you one, but what is this? Why are people why? I don't yanka no kuro. Nanado said the review of the constitution belongs to what the body politics and parliament should be the one. And he does not believe a president should initiate the process of a constitutional review, and that is his position. Abaji Famiko a November 15th, 2008, IEA debate in the Northern Region, where Professor Adai Mensah, the then Vice Chancellor of AIA University of Ghana, Ebusa another question on November 15, 2008.
Thank you very much. First of all, once again, fellow Ghanaians, it's good to be back here. We want to thank again the IEA for this program, as well as my colleagues around the table. I think the question is very apt. Definitely, after 16 years of operating a constitution, especially since both the major political parties in our country have had an opportunity to work it, there are several matters that have come up for discussion. And my way forward is that those issues, we will put a Constitutional Review Commission in place very soon after taking office to go around the country collecting the views of our people to see how strong is this demand for reform. There are matters that all of us know about. Ministers in Parliament, should they come from Parliament? The powers of the Attorney General, should they be separated? The issue as to whether or not we should have a Prime Minister rather than a Vice President, like many of our neighbors do. The term of the President has come up. Is 4 years the ideal term for us, or are we talking 5 years? We've got the question of the election of district chief executives. Is that something that we want to see, or we want to have them appointed? These are some of the issues. We're talking, for instance, also about the creation of regions. We have at the moment very stringent provisions for creating more regions. Should we have looser provisions? I think these are the matters that the Constitutional Review Commission will take before our people. And if the answer is in the affirmative, that yes, there is a widespread demand out there, then to initiate the processes in the Constitution for amending the Constitution. That would be my response to what you had to say, Professor.
You know, we can always sing about love. We can always dance. Yeah, we have to address some issues in our societies, in our country. What from? This is what. In abundant waters, the fool is thirsty. Baby, me free. I don't care, no, yeah, plenty. Abro, esiyare sabian su abro hiayare shacho kwa manone. Abro media koko su abro benu mi lecture manone. Abro titi engineer so abro be ya kwa cha kwa manone. Abro sasi esika so abro yesika cha kwa manone. Abro kani anso no so abro nya bi fema fufu. Abro esinu platform na abro fakoto for the media there. I'm thinking aloud and I'm thinking deep. Am I alone or you are with me? Let's chase these troubles away. I'm thinking aloud and I'm thinking deep. Am I alone or you are with me? Let's chase these troubles away. Old folks with old mentality. Give their youth opportunity.
And as I said, what I saw, XYZ, Abrana Sunkomo. Eti wa penny oyese and now in 2008 says Oba set up Constitutional Review Commission. Professor Mills has setting up the same Constitutional Review Commission, you know, TNA. In fact, Professor Mills a crown can set up Constitutional Review Commission. Oh, the nyansa in what Nanado said. Opa, you better bomb video of Professor Mills' answer or the man was a review. I hear debate, you know. One kasa me ba me set up Constitutional Review Commission. But what tie na nadu asem no ka unu say na nadu asem no ka nyansa wom and was setting up Review Commission. And then Anado say he does not believe in the process now President Mills Faso. Okay, me here can you. Teacher, for me and the name called break my ba. Abraham Bemoshe and lawyer Oliver Baka, David Kaka says in the house, Yabeka takra the 21st. Any change of the constitution was
Kakra meet me akane say a teacher for more man we more dozen power. Monkwa mu vote krank it me mo bit me wi ni. Hwe de de ayemo no ache. Sa menkasa no monkasa. Me kira de bi. Minim de nyina ye kom. Sa se de yakama no atum na mo bre na monye magicians nso ye ma mo aka de se fata se mo fa nkira de nso ye se mo nkire man kwara ntwam paase no. Kasa. Ne ye ma me no mienu. Na wo so temamuni na wo bre te se me no. Wuni sika wo de oba kwa bruchire school wuni sika wo de oba kwa sa school akese ye wo Ghana ni bi anka me ne wo de ye se bitafra te saito no anka ye ni ye anka ye betimi a benefit no wo so me ka wo ka kire me se ye wo party eye me party nti ye nkasa no hwe mpanimfo se bitafra che we de mani mu a ye so bo to abro a town yem de mo ye no etichafo de mo ye no kom na ama ye no na mo ye no me kasa kire mu se mu nua me kasa kire mu se me ba media me ba mu nchen an said the oman ye no wo ba da ben wa wadi 30 years na akasa so 30 years fu ntimi nkasa mo amache mo amadi 20 years no so amu ntimi nkasa na afie mi amaba no so ameka no kuro no munim se ye no kore wo san no kore hu wi akugina sore dem abompa ise nya membra wo koto aba no ballot paper na Nyankopon fu ni taso ballot paper na fu ni taso de wo to ma no wani tu ase nkoye no ye nkasa wate obi anka say ye party A ana party B na say no party B a wa ba power bi a wo ka ho bi mo nyina mo ya mambofo mo ka ho na o man na duru sei ene ye mfa ni nyina nto nche ye nkoye nim mesra mo nkasa the meet me account
well fix what's a fix G yes sister
G
and who can fix the country no
Opening fix GS subset of
fix the country.
What else?
Maybe I say be bright the corner. Obviously, a couple of brighten the corner where you are. It will education sector.
What you
and I also see I'm fixing her.
What you
it's a carpenter for us. Remember, may fix the carpenter.
It's meaning I can't man fix the country.
But that's because you. Nyakubo trade and ponchira a teacher kojo. I've been moved up. Was one there. Or you're fearlessly honest. Obeka no kra chere Ghana penifo. Medamo aba meba Abraham Bemoshe common sense family leader David Kakase Save the Nation ono so ne die nemu na lawyer Oliver Baka lawyer ni ana so odin kakra na me say ochen you can say Captain Sowu and Major Boachija ya putting it together me ba sisi ya me ba nkomo ne be de enko bia.
If a cry na menyisika, etia ye mefui.
Ehinfa pa na menya bosia, edia tre medwuma yimu.
Kai kra mabre, me busia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yema mwakwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. ye won hye ahodo bi te say dwadifo abosia ekoko bosia susu account and it does our savings account me bada chain savings account and the keka ho Suhum Rural Bank was 03422919896 now one so what to me aka say
Suhum Rural Bank ama ene mayeka una
Suhum Rural Bank enti me pa minie
me damwase
Suhum Rural Bank growing our heritage.
We are one man short. Should we invite him?
Yeah.
It be old cargo.
Can I join you guys?
Yeah. Always drink fresh, natural, X, mineral, water.
Still got it. Always keep hydrated naturally. That's my secret.
Manufactured with the primary aim of preserving nature's finest minerals necessary for a healthy mind and body. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
Welcome to AutoCheck Vehicle Diagnostic and Licensing Center.
I hear my car can be checked here without going to so many hour crap.
Sure.
Emission, check.
Alignment, check.
Brakes, check. Visit AutoChecks at Koforodia Aquadum Road for the roadworthiness of your vehicle, from saloon cars to heavy-duty industrial vehicles. Madam, your car is now ready for the road.
Thank you so much. AutoChecks, check.
AutoChecks, your safety, our priority.
Check, AutoChecks.
That's so I share Abrana so on TVXYZ. Medina and Sanya. Still, I remain the Bombardier Field Marshal Squadron Leader Ranger Buffalo Wayne Royal. General Kabaka Bumfa this year, Namiakosu Abenawaba, Okatechi Efifa Mensa, Amia Santiago na Yokohine. Shego Evera of Ghana Media, an activist. Me between medical catchum se me journalist. Me activist. And I mean a penimfua womo enumde. Na womo bobe e womrem. Na eja wo mu defense the country animo no e ba twa nkomo de onu so bie adwene ni mo se adwene no anya adwuma body no ebre onu so e wo fia ha David Kakase enso save the nation onu so pese oboa emi save wo man no lawyer Oliver Baka lawyer ni mapa lawyer kwaba bibi adede de
Beneden so you work here
lawyer Oliver Baka campaign ama Fix the Country. Now, Fix the Country, you call a Takrade, 21st of next month. Takrade, I say, second day Takrade, obey. Aram, Akwaba.
Yeah.
Bibi Abokode.
Boko.
Fix the Country, Nico Yedi.
Yeah.
Na sikana ekoje ne wanya hye
sikana me nyanhui sikana ye nkura invoice na invoice wo hobs na do ye ho de zabeda kiska
one ma bribe otwere invoice
Yeah, what you bribe na invoice wo. Was na do ya na yi. And who's been power there and some other case cano.
David Agwa. Oh, kwa kuso mo ko jisken biara. Because everyone many hopes say kasano. Hope say me na man ko bi dia fair enough. Na nkofo Kobe elite sene mi no mo ko so mbaji na me say na say hope say wo ka say captain pen na Kobe that means me ko wo ko kwaji bia na takura de no
me ni mpo
jo mama ma 1.2 ni
na me say one mama evidence one mo wo ko no
sir
then I see be fair na me show mama evidence
one money okay, so very quick while I am also na yafa start we are calling for a change of the constitution. Oh, and for say why will we call for a change of the constitution instead of saying review? Why the change of constitution for this country?
First of all, I am now from lawyer and I am Bufuka. Lawyer na ya na trofo mpacho Oliver. Me lawyer say bia me law no mejai. Is there me Ghana Journalists Association. Na hona me question. Na na you know the conversation around constitution a bad day bia na omasa kano ade na mo mpe review and na se mo mpe na amendments one by one. Na se the mo mpe no new constitution. Na ya na mo kasa na they know the truth and some person can ho no kra. Constitution Review Commission report now cry, you know. I was one of the members of the Constitution Review Commission. Okay. Now recommendations say woman no 427. Okay. Recommendations. And this for a way when omo issue white paper. I reject omo accept only 47% of the whole recommendations. Okay. Now recommendations back omo reject no year. O start take no binding national development plan no. Omo reject no. Omo reject. Omo say yempe. And so a lot of almost all the constitutional changes now recommend no omo ampene. Because constitution review recommendations, no share your constitutional changes and your legislative law and your administrative changes. So they are categorizing. Into ufa constitutional recommendations, about 70% no you rejected. No. Okay. Into no, it's not say nyamane woman no nya papa. And they say we don't want the review process again. But in him say you started review ni biomo. In him say you be end. Because constitutional provision now the best set up review no and not just work now we 1,000-page document no advice keke ema omampenyi opa no offer nti say if you go back to that process no enko bebia so first one na amfa na obi say sako hobioma why is the person pushing you back there the air can say every constitution two things our content and our process. Content no here and a process no so here. Now content no a lot of the things now work a lot of them are good. And the content problem any content problem me find the content. Say what bo trim na woka. Me wo white paper president the then president Johnny Van Satamels de a constitutional review report no so. Now you call page 4. Now if I call page 5 process of development. Also, the government does not accept the CRC's recommendation for the constitution to prescribe grassroots participation in wide-range stakeholder consultation in the national development planning process, since these are already provided for in the National Development Planning Systems Act 1994 and Act 480. And the Local Government Act 1993 at 462. Omar rejected. They do not accept it. Yeah. I know your Professor Mills abai. And it is and two. And the missing process no here. And I missing process no here and yet for two reasons. We have over 200 constitutional recommendations 247 no. What they happen they say we a process no the new committee be see and they determine say all the changes to the constitution say by yeah. This is Ghana voted 247 times. And say it means how is that practical? Say we go voting booth. Near team so 247. One ebe. So already no, they wanted to use that as a way and say they discouraging encouraging. Into the air can say okay, recommendations na ya gathering no. When we have prepared it no, you have to go through that process ni bio. It goes straight to the people. My people no vote direct. And you can only achieve that through a new constitutional document. Now, here can I say, and you said the 1992 constitution now, papa no, will reject everything. Of course, there are things which are there a year already, But if you go through a review process, now the no matter how good it is, no, it will again go and first they say the Parliament, then the Council of State. Now more pan no more year. It won't him. But what you are saying is that if it goes from the Constituent Assembly, never drafting, no, straight to the people, now people need vote also. That is the only process I bet me all the things I happen it will come to pass. But they know this. They are not the new consumption, a new constitution, won't go a review because they know that the review process does not allow you to do the amopesa moyeno. Secondly, offer review near first one. No? The only thing that this government MMDC elections. Now no almost a son. Almost decided say you say when we went around the country, Ghana for say politics in MPP and this in your bread. But district level, they are technocrats, a development assembly. They should be the only people planning it. Omo decided, said this government decided, say, Yeni Obia on the basis of MPP NDC throughout the country.
Okay. And
I can afford to do an answer. Everybody criticized that process. You know. Oman Benny said, "Your mom pen and said, I'm pen and and they said, that is the process that will happen again if we try a review conversation again. Because this processes no allow for the different capture. Omumbe decided to person more year. Now one penny and just own yabium. But if you go to say now adopt constitution way in 28th April 1992, no, almost for a document no about 2 years and I Ghana for vote here. When a lot of Ghanaians accepted it, no, that was it. So we want a processor, every politicians and give it to the people for them to decide. That is the only way our reforms in the panel. So that's why.
But people have raised questions. Say 1 million votes. I say yeah Ghana. By the way, let me remind you, sir. So to me call vote.fixthecountry.com now. Echo vote for a year no. You vote no. A vote of no confidence in the constitution. But Ghana for say the constitution does not prescribe. Say that is the way forward for changing of this constitution. So it's an exercise in futility. The kind of science I didn't know as Sabio
yeah.
Why the 1 million votes?
So first of all, I think for a constitution here one, and yet only legal document, a political document. Now, I think for Kai say, over MPs or more Chromano, I mean 247.
Right.
All the appointments of president in Yenano and brought 7,000.
Right.
The Mukan in Aboma knew 8,000. Now say 1 million Ghanaians, I catch 8,000 people say, I said document necessary now. One nakayeti. So first of all, it's about engaging the process. Now, President Akufo-Addo clip now boy, you know, or say he hasn't gotten the sense that a lot of Ghanaians want this thing. And it's a 1 million Ghanaians catch those in leadership say the opinion. If they reject it, and first of all, I say, do we have a democracy? That's the first question. So after 1 million people have voted. Now, 1 million, 3.6 million people voted for this document in this country. Now, when we continue this process, now we get more than 3.6 million people, meaning that more people are rejecting the document than those who even brought it in place. Then what does that tell you about our democracy? So that process is no here. The second thing is yesterday a new constitution. What can new constitution treason? Why? Constitution the only way you shouldn't change this constitution is violently. And that if you do non-violently and lawful means, you can change the document.
That's a one for two and a two good year. That's how far Maraquaso, maybe Bocordia, but me as a constitution. But one creating impression is a constitution is unchanged.
Now, can you become, you know, you call August for demonstration. It's the first 1, 2, 3 republics, no. Soja for you go, no. And so, yeah, for two and go for republic. Because I knew what the document was telling you, say, and your violence now, the best change document, you know.
I have found what constitution in the chair say, and your violence near changing name of me a day, Mra and I
say article 3:3. Any person who by himself or in concert with others or together by any violent or any unlawful means.
Unlawful.
Yes.
By any unlawful means. That means one. So when you sue violence,
and when you
sue unlawful means, the ultimate is a constitution.
So the first thing you be saying is okay. So no violence. What is the lawful means to change the constitution? What do you say?
Right.
So this is a conversation we want people to have. In the first of all, you violence nephew. They say there's no violent processes going on. Now when you go to every other country, the Constitution provides way for the people themselves to initiate constitutional amendment processes. A couple of days ago, last week, Kenyan Supreme Court, President initiated a process. So, best is a constitution. And the Constitution Review Supreme Court said there be. It is the people to whom the power belongs to. Or no, someone initiated the process. Yeah, the Constitution creates a military era. No, it doesn't create a room for the people. No, a constitution to change it. And so Article 1 now say the sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people, for whose welfare this document has been created.
Meanwhile, it doesn't give them the right to say
and then so our process of saying say you pay 1 million vote no is to first of all show everybody in this country say anya yen kwa na yete hwa ye kasa anya say oketechie na ye kan say constitution say yen hu bibi but that a lot more Ghanaians want this process. So that process no here. Now making lawful means no oko article 297 our constitution one you be implied powers clause.
No bro finance say
298 I say if there's anything constitution and provided and define here, Parliament will to me to be able to make that change. So it means article chapter 25. Or chapter 25, no, it only talks about amendment. One map processes laid down for the change of a new document. First of all, my choice article 3 and say non-violent and lawful. So when you don't have violent now, or say lawful means no way, then you go to article 298. Or say, if I haven't stated how to go about it, Parliament has the power to do it. And the air can say, all it takes for Parliament to say is that we are passing a law which creates a constituent assembly. And when that process is done, it must go to the polls for 60% of people to come to the polls and 70% to adopt the document. Referendum. Then you have a new document. Yeah, no, 1 million year try. You say you a constitution. You say you constitution if you but we want to show that 8,000 people no more government. They say 1 million people have called for a new document. That's all we are doing as citizens of this country. And no be nature and and party be say on party and sana Ghana ye. I said no, change the document then that's what we're asking for.
Okay, lawyer Oliver Bakameda say, Mamemko Avram Ben Moshe no and the common sense family. Avram, call takrade on the 21st. Common sense family, you say you are integral part of a fix the country demonstration. So far, you think the takrade people should be expecting whilst we are coming there on 21st?
Yo, where the social media for us say eja omo ya babia omutie yen na menu teacher kojo so beda na sepa na wa mamra ho won se ba my door kakra de kan nyina ne se ekuduru takrade na obi amba kura yen kwa be nante afa kurum won se ye de adwen bi hye yetirim first one ye no akra ne se obi amba po a yen leaders no ye be so yen sem na ye show the Ghanaian people say sa ansesanda ebesesa wochina aha nti takrade for the catcher one say na me ne takrade guy bi kasa no kasa chale opa bebi a ho kire wo pa west side ho chama boys ne go get to and na sebe abrabo mo ankasa o mo dreaming as kids and afi o mo facing in life and am bad leadership nti say takrade for say o mo mbra massive Kwame Nkrumah woda so yen fenshe Ghana ni munyam yen fenshe Kwame Nkrumah ni munyam yen fenshe Echirima ni munyam de yen nyina no me ka kire obi say oketeche white na eba ya bodwesem no na na do mu free ho the next generation of nkokora ye de esi ha no so aha nti ko bia me repeat me pese asem bi to na adutrim o man na adutrim as a president and a Christian so ye Christo no je Bible dia oketeche Bible ne say wenyia no 70 to 80 wow aha nti o man na do 77 na oje Bible dia aka ni 3 years we wiase you nti me okay, teach me ensrio. Nibresem. I can 3 years. It's a day na all year within these 3 years na we free wa ya bonedini ya kaino. Me mo biati ase obi antam ampanyi na nado. Ye kete na nado for what? Bone ben wa ye. Hwe bra na nado abran se konwie beka ne nsa. Edube na no kra Ghana for kra mobo. Ente du baby ye Ghana for kasa da bi. Se de papa ye ni abre a opese obet na konwie su. Owo bibi pamo man no. Te de bia me kase Ghanaians didn't vote for MPP. They voted for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo because they believe in him. Onim say do baby abronya ka say be say Nana Addo no stage kumi preko no enyo no te ho no. Which is a painful truth. wo hwe ne ne den na ho keka even constitution ya ka ho asem so mo kwache atumi na do akabi okay bi and na de osesana no ntia wo ka asem say say oba obi na trust script na ma no be kan na enyo no na e kasa no so ade hwe open mame obuku no mo hwa de bi Ghana phone nyina me de say me wo ekurasefo level say Oliver akasa na speak me ekurasefo no mo so boss na me muntie Ghana constitution no ene ade afia we ana empanyufo tra say no problems bi wa ha yen hu bibi na yen solve ana mu yi ska solve solve
6 million US dollars.
6 million US dollars.
6.8 million US dollars.
6.8.
Omu written document say. Maku 83,161.
Yes, solve problems in.
Omu ko US, UK, Germany, Amsterdam. Omu ko Benin, omu ko Porto Novo, omu ko Bebia except Cote d'Ivoire that time. Now watara mo konto. And omu Ghana for more than 7 million agene. Including Nanado, including Kufuor, including a former Chief Justice Crab, Theodore Wood, it's a Penny, Bamford Ado, Professor Mills, John Mahama, Omuji will be agreeing, and Omudi forms idea.
They will form a class for Casamuna made the Chramon, Ghana Constitution and the Fiawe, when the Boomaino. And I'm paying for transfer. No, I'm saying problems be waha, young solve, Anamawa. And the year Quaker also match out to know. Any year over 6 million US dollars. Any other solve problems in Adia Fiawe, no problems resolution in you. Bebacha Uti, Adia Fiawe, yes, solve problems here. You could not Humakaraka, we are Pacha Ghana, your problem, I had the Katwa. Into the solutions to the Ghanaian problem is this. Wait, any. The mayor who are toying. Now when you're found, who dear, now you gold, your oil, your timber. Fertile land ye wo e Japadia Ghana wono e bia so aw man pay na do ka kire Ghana for say media sebe me nya corrupt na media me ba yeti sika so me ba be tu Ghana Japadia no na matu sika na gumo so no solution na wa ha enu nti e na ya sori no anye na nado na de man pay na nado nti ase ne say first no na social media ni ho de also ti ase ni na eye radio station fie bia politicians and they control into the media will feed you with what the politician want you to know. Tiati what was so tally radio na de beka no now see koli. Tia catch your radio so say ya kwan e we kure bia se a. Sanka ye radio so and na teacher kodwotia and work school dan yankoda bi timu a we beka se woboa. And the social media the television ti ye ka no na ye yi video de a kyerɛw. And ye ni e bi na say no e was ye fix it. Ye ka say ye fix no. E ye wo man pay na nado. E ye wo na to mi hye wonsa. Any the pressure goes a fix it. To the other say, accept it. Say, oh, no, man, beto a perfect system. Me by now they broken that. May try some fix it. Into Mukula Mumwami. Now you fix it. Wako create fixing the country movement. Say, Mube Kantai. Even Omudi fixing the country. You say, Omo accept it. The idea ban. Obi say fix it. And now they fix na ba. Meaning the all catch us say fix it. No, only the year again. Before better. The concept we say we invited the leaders near D and Mebunino. Any a ghetto so Charles says I call ghetto hope you more. Another ghetto.
Achimota.
Yeah, base. Yeah, ghetto be one.
Yabako California.
Urebe fi krase. Sada na so de biane hwe mu na wudi. Owura bako. Enyo. And yet the Biameka say, a memoni di bunipa ewo kromuano, 7 previous, 7 monimwa, udi bumwa ewo UK, ubeko jail. And you, man paying another echo Germany, they make na say, into a sifi play muka kwen on nam, so into one ferriana.
Now we kaka kwan semono. Krowe mu ye ka kwan nyina including the dawo wani mu amfutu ayesoma na 67,326. It would be running it up 67,500. Per a world standard. Oh yeah, a kilometer of asphalt road. Yes, as a pete phone you know. A kilometer of asphalt road. 1.5 million Ghana cedi na cost. Okay, which is about 400,000 US dollars. Okay, Ghana coin is 67,500. What multiply by yes 400,000 US dollars? Say here 35 billion US dollars. And a dia.
Now ya fixi ya
ya musi ya say your gold, your oil, your diamond, your bauxite, and worth senya. eti company phone ni nyansa obi si wo ba beto gold aka che say sa wo paper na wa print say friend US dollars no me pe Faba ma kwan ma me we ya kwan this kilometer of road amema this amount of gold. Why dem dey try mo negotiate this about trade no. Omo pego mbutom no ma chedi. It won beje papers I print so.
Once said that na me kire why money was invented. No, say akronfo na invented money. Because it's na barter system. Aka wo gold ba also natural resource be na wo e na wo dey ba exchange. Ti satana obi nsisi obi wo de say salt kra na ade ba wo de beji gold wa ye be hwe equivalent na de ko ana broni tell say no ma mean create legal tender bi paper bi na me na mesa print paper no ono America not ono otwa ne currency ono otwa ne sika enti me ka kire Ghana fo mpanyimfo wo kɔbɔ bo se wo US ya obi se o ska wo pa no afro mpa chom kɔfɔ na ba o ti na ska mo kɔji na eni wo omo aba mo ntwe ska ne ma wo enti fa ne se me ne wo to chacha ena me wo gold show bottom ena me wo printing machine ye di twiska wo menchen ena me say e scan ye de to na mom wo hie ska me na me twiska no nti fa gold bra na je paper ne to chacha no your gold will finish and I'll still be printing currency
and nobody's thinking
ena black man bibini and value natural resource na mom or value sa paper na bruni na printing no. Now we say politicians so a system na slave masters ni jato ho no.
Now we see Amako David so no.
And one no so aba begina so nti a new form of slavery. Slavery ne say obi also mo aduane di. Ono amo aduane ni o. O try say wo survive so o say no o ma kwan na wundidi. But hwe aho kire nti ye nuanom university graduate na adane Okada drivers. Any taxi drivers. Afe yanamwa hwe atete a police for taxi drivers any Okada. No Okada for the mobile. Boy be frame ya chi Okada ba 20 something. And no to say Abraham. Husband man na me ya wada na me nya 5,000. Na po Okada na me didi. A police for tata ya tata.
What him say me kan sisudua. Accra Regional Police Commander. They are aware of the Uye Okroma with Okada people. Or should that me set a operation Okada arrest. Tienye. Ni achi Okada for akogu the different police unit no okwa awon say wo de machine be free regional one be he say documents no ni a frustrate wa 3 days ya frustrate wa say wangasa wutimi nya hwe na say nka okotua.
Yeah,
I know of that. It is happening. Watch me boys ni bebre wo mo frame meanwhile omukura new document kura or say how document in your okay yate wo de ye kwa verify say but 3 days, 4 days, 5 days next war, 81 now Accra Regional Police Commander.
Boys this come West Nile frustrated. Okay, one said say prostitution any crime rate cost wo man pay. Now we say unemployment any ahoche this ade ne ba. We because Abraham say see no kwan ye be fa so ye be didi nso a. Mo pese ye be didi dia. E dey chale ye be say man no. Enti omo na ya say
on baby am do call ye na we say onya be ko ngeto no. Brother, I'm casting show. You do a numera, Me anka me so nsa 1 AM do akọ. Woni metu e boys wo okruma. Boys wo tu wo.
Okay, tachi enya wo na beka. Say police for any soldier for we survey bi. Etu e wo citizens nsem e chen de omomu kura no. Omo anka se nu asem. Etu na ekuta citizens no e wo get to no. E chen de omomu kura. Ti muntutu ne meye ye ne ye kwa. Ne ya send boys na ka se munya botre na the only way I betu nya so man Ghana na say e be start with peaceful demonstration. Ne ni mpanyimfo akasa e na ya start no. Onimade a Ghana ni bia otia brochire e betro e wo social media say 22 days after your demonstration has Ghana been fixed. Say sebi impreduasa. Sebi o say wo modam kakra. Ye demonstration 22 days I say change your mind no. Ye ade positive. Ye ade a utumi say affect leadership obo say no embebu no sole no anka wo otia brochire enjoy better system. Obeta yechi na efutuo bi amode amaye no. Omumom na esoliti an to because say you can never fight for the black man with 2 hands. You will fight with 1 hand and use the other hand to stop the fools who will be disturbing you because
David ya brana so komo on TVXY me need wakatachi every famous and me ne fix the country conveners ana eshia ye dim komo David save the Ghana you save Ghana ana odenu David akwaba so far save Ghana for mo so mo joining fix the country Takrady, what should they be expecting?
The can say bedding echia ashefo na One of social media na on so wo tie. Oman na ye wo edumbre a o chade obia and sorry. Ghana say yetum esesao anase abrofu tumi ba Ghana. Eba Ghana because of our resources. What show say the world cannot come to Ghana for loan. But essence adwena sebe yentum endwi enhu enkweti no anything Ghana edu baby edu yenhwe opportunities ewo with Takrade boys was sorry nyoma 1 year wait so be and wo be. This is why we are asking say we 21st September say ye Takrade ni ye tadi ni nkoten dia ye besre say obi anfa no dem demonstration mo. Because Ghana no ye papa Adudankwa Akufo-Addo a chen say omani ye ohia man wo ye ne den na wonua ne den na ambe ma ye bre omani mu no ye hwe COVID-19 test wo ye we wo friend them Kodoka International Airport obia we $150 and what you be bia nipa efa Kodoka International Airport a day 9,000 multiply national scale in a day ewo Ghana ewo Kodoka International Airport ngoten 1.35 million US dollars and ye raise ewo Kodoka International Airport ewo COVID-19 dimu then let us say ma we ntumi ye SARS can efa wo ko Australia wo di roto and wo di o akwan ba Ghana roto ye di o Ghana efa
yedi
everywhere we offend 50 meters road there baby package road. But other nations they don't do it that way. Israel 80% desert. 95% of the road you know Israel from one side would Ghana you were fertile land more than Israel. Ya bobosia ya kwedi bansre. Ya kwedi ban ache wo ma what desert so. Na ye kan bi mutiti radio so to TV so to social media e ka chen say there's nothing to be fixed in this country.
Oka eye duane a yedua the whole Africa, in fact the whole of the world we are seeing na ye ka say asase a yedua so aduane a eye yi a which bruni friend arable lands the whole world continent na ye friend Africa no enko was 66% tienie. Say ye che eye baby aduane mu 100 African was 66%. Meanwhile, African continent, no. Even there should be a country, no continent. African continent, no. You cry every year food to the tune of more than $10 billion onto this continent. Every year. Imagine what $10 billion will do in an economy. Meanwhile, you think you dear exporting become more. And I'm saying what Tibon cost 64 heads of state. Who have formed a bunch of old men's club called AU.
Na the AM ya wa Takrade we friend the Western region. All ye la ye to Ghana. Contractor was signed. Ghana ye chefa e wom ye 70%. 55% no impinfo o man we what ji bu okutokum. Hwe the Takrade hwe Western region hwe here ekoso.
What's Ghana chefa is say?
Ghana document and mensa kind.
Ghana will 10%.
Ghana percentage 70%. At the end of the day, one ma Ghana on my nina on my money na one my 50%. It may be say 70% out of 15%, 55%. One more to come na eko. Na yet your mom na ka say we Oyo City. And the day I work, I say the people just say who dia so around them. That's why we think that this country is peaceful. What the year we Major Mahama, how they lead Major Mahama, and you trying to tell us say these people are peaceful. Say the day I can say the leaders we don't hate them. Abdoye mena catch them say. Oma ye ndjuma oma egbe ndjuma nti men kanche bebu no nko pe ndjuma na me bisa se papa edjuma na musimu ebue no ebi wan kye me na me fa boys no ko because de bia wo frɛ me wo send message wo pe ndjuma ye Send me money be. Will to man gas and broken me. See, we have come to a time say Ghana ni bia ehun say o man no ye yon hiama yampa.
O man ni ye hiama but ye mre nti ma memra eye lawyer Oliver Baka so na ye hwe fix the country ye di kan ka kire mo say sika de ye nkoje bi NDC bia ho say 1.2 million na motete na yentro propaganda. It is a way to separate the leadership from the masses. Lawyer, so far your financial statement, Senator, machine I said to Senator, your 1.2 million Ghana.
Well, maybe at last count, no, not is it Kanaka 200 Ghana cedis. Okay, you call demonstration, you call press conference, no, and I went to meet TV reporter, everybody said that. But when I poor people revolution, then he says, "Can I?" And I'm a political party there, and I'm a says, "Can we?" Now, one of the things that I decided is credibility. We here, into no Ghana for now till this point. I'm gonna move so you move. Baby, do no. I'm one never continue higher than I trust you. Into the start here, no. You say it's a 2 CD, 1 CD, Pacho, fascinating. Mobile money ni be resist ka last demonstration here no almost 23,000 Ghana cedis ni spend here engineer fi Ghana for uncle for sending even on the day and a panel of the demonstration impo no na obi send me 10 cedi from osio wa unti me ma but opeso 10 cedi na me no na nkrofo no person will measure the kind of support Ghana for face the country now. I'm saying 15,000 for number show in Accra and Kwa. It's all those people now. Or see mini big crano, but in more say mini big crano in more way. Now me from the beginning no obi can say me ma. You know me dream hook Accra. Yes, that's it. Yes, you billboards. Yes, you billboards no. In go for my 50-50 CD billboards no. You with me see. You know be say you wa yes support mo. So me national service ni. 50 CD Abraham to make my 1 CD. I want to start say 50 CD and Phantom chain. 2 CD because you know I na refrain by a hon kakra.
Say brand say na about any niska.
Go for niska.
Ejom phone niska.
Wo.
Ejom phone man e besere mo. Mo 1 CD no a modern mama politicians. Say na no na do MPP 2016. Kaya yi phone mu yi 1 CD boa wo mo. Yesere mu a ya mo me yansu e bi. Na ya fanya adwuma ne mamo. Ai. Lawyer, so in case obi person or support fix the country with coins 1 seed 50 pesos yes machine no here oil we need the people to move us and I'm telling you honestly one seed in case obi person support here what can the person do?
So mobile money in resist over Vodafone so Voda cash 054 921 4976 Mrs. Subium 054 921 4976 054 921 4976 and you have Vodafone cash we better sending a BBA and found now answer my second number no we sending 1 CD poor okoye website obi din wo ho we fra kojo menu na ya kojo m so that chesem to bingo di we chi anhwehwe but wa wo less no so ko kojo m na otu cedi da ho a won sampa these people are accounting to you into no ye nji usika bi na wo de usika bi man na ayera pese ohun say wo contribute no say na ye spending ni de e di ye ni nyina akọ den for face the country eba MTN mobile money so a 0555 873339 Mrs. Subio 0555 873339 MTN Momo
Aboche for person Mobo a won so nyere
Aboche for person Mobo ai and ye wo any of our social media say Facebook say Instagram say Twitter GH face the country. Oko first na boho no. Ube hun PayPal. Ube hun GoFundMe. Ultimate Sunday. Or your cash app and so GH face the country. Or cash apps are ultimate designing and so. Ni nyina so ebe boy.
We wa na obi afro na kadachi minya kabeshia na yesi empese ebeshia politician bia. Etu politician kro na obezo sponsor ye no. Yesere wa momo account no politician wo send e ba. Yamma Mishianu Ninkobia, Sunday Nambra, Labatoma and Mayajuma. Ye knew your Sunday, yet you have a Tom Quadia boom. But you see, I never say whether you're Yamusiko. Ye no. Ye, your 2 was a Jumawi, ye yan and Yanichana. We are not many Oliver Castle for so now. Just I wrote some cry up. Senior, what are you? Yeah, I can't counsel crying. And your bosom, you cut your cry a year, the Bible sponsor. Make come paparaka. Yes, sorry, no, Aram.
Yeah.
Fabinante.
Talk about it for now. Yeah, show me.
Western regional.
Western, okay, Western.
I talk about them. Western. You body as Sankregua, Savija Bosso. Ekofa awa so ekwa kosi eye benso top oil palm plantation bob oil palm plantation edi wo mu besi eye takra de secondi ene reporter mu nyina wo
wow
in fact ke kosufo no kura betimi ababi a wo mu nyina amra twifo prasofo nyina amra o mo na biche wanya takra de nko wo When they the food basket of this country, the western side of this country, the food basket, but ko here o mutim ko ho makwan
ya rahosem
nti o mu nyina na eba
ti abusha form say ya yete nyina ye di mwanim no ye nyina ye dwuma ene ye nkwa ene ya dofo ye taking risk ene ye de ye say dwuma because teacher kodwa betra waka teacher for asemi wadane number 1 enemy ti sesi and akoye ne say obi bi obe say o ka no kura bia no Domo yene say they start attacking things that you love, things that give you happiness. Obi say me Abraham say, "Uno say me be a pub, eno mu group pub no."
You say o ma sha say ka me barbering shop no. Me di blade ba ku yi nipa miensa. Na menim de obetena ho a o kan tie say blade we ada ho we yaba, ye de yi no, we yaba de yi no. They just want to destroy my business, but me I can tell you, me see you don't know me.
Sa no mo tie, sa no mo ye, ombe ya no mo de tanishe we image. Na sa na tie, o say me say what brana me wo religious religion side na and me catch me CSF on religion me nyai me ba ho religion e another serious problem the mechanic said you be soon be asom but me ma religion deprive you happiness on this earth me catch say nyankopon ma nipa 70 to 80 years one fam ma wo wi ase we se fe be heaven or the mouse fe be enjoy life. Tell the kind of book of Ecclesiastes. Or see the human nipa man say, or better na ewie yase, na we did no one nom, na ne ni aje ne nkwa na nyina. Say the be na ni honam no, e be enjoy life e wo wiase nti, e na pay good hospital. The ni pay here, e bra ye tiase no, we buy more time because ye need time. Till we eat good food for more time. We need good roads for more time. We need good hospital to buy more time. Ko yare oba bewu, also kokoje more time. Tini e wa ha no. Well, Intimisraw, well, also, ne we are see we won't find Cobabiano. My mentor the simple thing to do. We are seeing Cobabia and a dream bompire, na catching a copper and a copper. We are say any moon in a bessa, Kumi and a dream, na member heaven, or on about anti good. So now we go to Nankas and Yakopon to be tested before. Having you again and be and say, oh, Chinese never call because having here anti gold and diamonds. So, Yankopon the Kakrasha from Erica say, you know the value of it here before you come there. As above, so below. What's on a China need to say Unsua, over heaven. Tibem said, Yankopon, Judgment Day, or Mammy Avram, no common sense for Yanya bounces, I will having it. Having a year will be the bear bounces. Gun and be a secret war. We are politician.
David, I'm rapping, I am Ralaya, so now.
You were beautiful guests, El Krumham. On mine Ghana. You were a mouth, you fair. Rwanda would the same mbano or do promote our tourism ministry. But Ghana no ya to din asawo
slave queen
up guests. See, we should value what we have. We should value what we have. Dia ye pese ye ma Ghana esesa eye nenwa. Eye adikititi be da ye na ho. Na sabe nyansa efra ye enitia. Ye besre oman no ayeyi a eyeme no na ayeyi man. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah be ye ekwan no ye dan wo boni di. Oman peni kufo eba ebe ye ekwan no ye ne na eti oman ni mu. John Dramani Mahama, former president obe ye ekwan no ye ne na eti oman ni mu. And ahoche a imbebu no osu no onu ye na esu, which means obe ye na ye a nkobe ye. Ghana yenso no oman no dem be frag ne dam kom no oman no eye Ghana fo na ebe ma ayi enye China ni na ebe eba be ye ma ayi medam ase
lawyer for me sorry
Okechi me eya na masam nyina yetia eya de meka ne se won se eya na kofododo na ka party ho asem ese party no na divide yen na pese me so eya na de bia me pese me ka ethnicity so ho asem kakra because won hia me na se nra no obi se ne message say ade na de bia na mo ka mo say get to for na ya ka no nye Ghana for ni bia na me yesterday adwuma yesterday kan no I mean social media mo no doso first no mo say ne Twitter database for nko na mo kasa na Twitter database na
afi ya tiesi form eno so yesi yi Ghana ye pese Ghana sesa na se kasa na ye de but again religion you know ethnicity no hu hia me because ya na ye sorry na ye say ya igbeni akani fantini yini dagbani dagomani nsemu na de bia meka ne se omo ana ye hu omo o cycle no na dagomba fuwo hadi kan dagomba na dagomba fuwo kan kran na kran fuwo o say na o kan twi na ni fantini kan fanti fuwo memete on me ya igbeni aigbefu ginaginem na bebre so be chia me omo nyina so na de ba ko pe na ha omo kom de won na kom na de won no mbi so omo na o vi aflawo ndine gama GAE ndine hu hia be se ye di sanya man beto twene nyina ye koma Ghana na se party no sorry o se ha ne stronghold ye ne stronghold nyina ne Ghana fo nyina be komo obia no ye stronghold baby a wakwan asay no eh stronghold baby a school dan nya no eh face the country stronghold into so wo hwe community na wo se nyama nya wo ho a wo se face the country stronghold na wotim na fa wo hujim. Thank you. Better say sir what I saw we fix the country conveners lawyer Oliver Baka and also umpelo ya so Oliver Baka vomo minu ya igbeni but you see said no ka ethnicity me metie me Santini me wo Fanta blood esa wo mu from Elmina because me papa ye Fantini from Elmina. So originally my name is even a name Insa. Ahini ne hon kro no banti na me ni akoye so I'm a Fanti from the other side. We ye no free wa me baba igbeni.
Almost wonyo.
Me nyo hine me plastic chair so. Ye fani nyina anto. Said your Oliver Kaye no. Se bo bia no wa okodwo mu a ya ka kire ne se ufri hefa ansani amoduane adi. Ogoka almost so your ohene you do not do politics. May they end make us machiro. O masheda na o mu create some confusion in the minds of the people. Sa ahemfo nye politics a o mu nkyere edwa na wo mama ahemfo se ohene de o pe bibia to a ko sa adwonum ne ho neoma boofo. Sa afu wo na ahemfo to a ne boofo chen nkrofo no mesere mu nkyere e ba bia wo. Se mu ntimi nkyere de na ahemfo no we are the stakeholders of this country and we will have a say. I'm telling you. If you are my way from Chuman Chukobia Mafotia Kente Obri Abu Amubesi Eye Niko Benaboni the Teda. These are the people who fought for the freedoms of their people more than today politicians who are the next slave masters. And when you make a document and you tell us the people who fought for the freedoms of their people do not have a say in active decision making. What can I say? Active politics. What is active politics? Active politics in here what decides what this country goes to. John Duma Lone na Diabori Wamu decided the price of fuel na Debbie. A politician in the decide. You be decide, you be part of active politics ne aye na chena a obi antimi stop here. Meaning Edward Katechi Kwame Afrifa Mensa. Me na me ya Santiago na Yokohene. Na me ba ene eya Santiago na Bosomfo. Ba Budro Bosomfo oye asantema nyina ekomfo. Me ba ene Santiago na Mahene. Ontia sia na ntia sia chena. Eya wodia beje. Ebe share next week.